February 16, 2021, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Brown.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with one.
Right. Although Dean reminded us, I'll do it again. This is a reminder that this is a public meeting and is being recorded. We kindly ask that you maintain the same level of decorum as if you were meeting here in person. Finally, for those who are calling in, please ensure that you have muted your phone line by pressing *6. We appreciate your cooperation. As always, during Black History Month, during the month of February, we wanted to pay tribute to and honor the legacy of African Americans throughout the history of our great country. And today, we are excited to have very special guests with us. I'd like to welcome Lynn Ford. Lynn Ford, and Lynn, I'm reading this from my cell phone because my iPad's not cooperating, so forgive me, gotta make it a little bigger. Here we go. Lynn Ford is a local teaching artist, published author, and storyteller of Home Fried Tales. Lynn is a fourth-generation Afro-Laitian, facilitator with the Ohio Alliance for Arts Education, Thurber House mentor, laughter yoga instructor, can't wait to get into that, and a fantastic cook. Congratulations on receiving the 2021 Storytelling World Resource Award for your book, Speak Peace, Words of Wisdom, Work and Wonder. Welcome, Lynn. If you are able to share a couple of your favorite tales with us this morning, we'd be delighted. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. My storytelling is rooted primarily in listening to my dad and my grandfather, my pops, who was a tall tale teller, but grandma said he was just a liar. And I researched some of the stories that I heard as a child, and I found that this one's roots actually are from the west coast of the continent of Africa into Central Africa and other places where lions live. It's a story of 3 young men who were making their way to the marketplace. And as they walked down the path to the road that would lead to town, they met 3 young and hungry lions. They could tell by the way those lions were smiling, that kind of grin that says, "Oh, good morning, breakfast." Well, one of those young men was big and strong, and he balled up his fists as if to fight. And then he looked at the muscles in the backs and the legs of those lions, and he took off running into the woods and made his way through the brush and the trees until he could manage to step out in town. The second young man was lean and quick, and he thought perhaps he could run past those lions until he remembered how quickly lions can run, especially when they're hungry. And so he ran lickety-split through the woods, getting scratched by the brushes and the briars until he got to town and the marketplace, both of them leaving behind the third young man, who was a storyteller. Now that young man looked at those lions and he said, "Kind sirs, it's always good to be polite. I am neither strong nor quick. And the way you are looking at me, I know what you intend to do. And so I ask, I plead, please, could you let me do the thing I do best just one more time, please? Could I tell you a story?" Well, everybody loves stories. So the lions lay on the path and waited for the story to begin. The young storyteller took a deep breath, and then he began. Once there were 3 young men who were on their way to the marketplace, and as they made their way to the road, they met 3 young and hungry lions. And one young man ran through the forest, and then the other young man ran, leaving behind one, all alone. Now, he was not big, and he was very lean. And so he wondered which one of those lions would get to eat him. You see, he was not enough for three, and that is the riddle of this tale. Which one lion would get to eat the storyteller? And then the storyteller shut his mouth. It's good to know when to shut your mouth. And those lions began to discuss things in the way that lions will do. They showed their claws, they bared their teeth, they snarled and growled, they fought with one another. And as they did, the young storyteller backed to one side, made his way around them and down the road to town, where his friends were already mourning his death loudly in the marketplace. But when they saw him, they ran to him and they asked, "What did you do? What power did you have that saved you from 3 lions?" And the storyteller said, "I have the power that everyone should have. I knew how to tell a very convincing story, and I knew when to shut my mouth." And that's the end of that story.
That's so great. That is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I feel like you were talking to me when you said that. I feel like that was being directed at me, a lesson that I need to learn.
Not
And so,
intentionally.
well,
I
Lynn,
think that was so great.
Thank you.
I love stories. So Lynn, tell us about your book and tell us about what you're working on right now. Where can we get it? If someone wants to sort of follow you or get to learn more about some of your stories that you share, where would we access that information?
You can reach me through my website, which is www.storytellerlynford.com. I am also in the artist directories of the Ohio Arts Council and the Ohio Alliance for Arts Education for their teaching artists. As for the way to reach me there, I think you would go through oaae.net for the Ohio Alliance for Arts Education and through oac.ohio.gov for the Ohio Arts Council. The directories are there. And the book, Speak Peace, came from everyone being upset on Facebook. It's actually an outgrowth of people responding on Facebook to all the things that we all know have happened at times. And everybody was just whining and moaning. I don't mean to sound negative about it, but my thought was, what are you going to do about it? And so my thought was, with a friend of mine, Sherry Norfolk, to put together a book that included their suggestions for what we could do to speak peace to one another, and to add to it the work of artists and storytellers who are working toward peace with different organizations, and essays and some folk tales. So it's a resource for people, and that's how it got the Storytelling Resource Award.
That's awesome. Do you know any stories about Franklin County?
I'm trying to gather them. See, I was born in Appalachian, Pennsylvania, and then I was transplanted here when my husband was moved here for his job. And so I'm still learning about Franklin County, but the history is fascinating, especially some of the ghost stories that I have picked up along the way. And the fact that there were many places that were stops on the Underground Railroad in this area. So that's what I'm trying to do, is gather some of that. I don't know that I'll put it into a book, but it would make a good program.
For sure. Well, let us know how we can help, and hopefully maybe we'll have you come back for one of our ceremonies and tell a story of some sort. And so we're so grateful that you are here in Central Ohio, and congratulations on your recognitions and the work that you can continue to do. And yeah, help us come up with the Franklin County story. That'd be nice.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And did my colleagues want to say anything?
Lynn, the courthouse area, Mound Street is right outside the courthouse. And so as you talk about what do you call them, the ghost stories that you've been researching, Mound Street, apparently Mound Street was at one point in our history, it was a burial site. And there's a place across the street called the Jury Room. The Jury Room is a tavern that was connected, has had connections for years and years and years, dating way back to the courthouse and Courthouse Square. And the friends of mine bought and have been the owners of the place for a while now. And they have discovered that there are ghost stories that go along with, and researched ghost stories that go along with the Jury Room. And there, the folks did a local television production about it. So if you have an interest, there's a place right across the street from the courthouse called the Jury Room with some local courthouse connected ghost stories to it. So
thank you. I'm going to have to look into that. Yes.
Well, thank you so much again, Lynn. I'm not sure. I think Marilyn might have dropped off inadvertently, but I'm sure I speak on behalf of her and my colleagues to say that we appreciate you and look forward to having you back sometime. Happy Black History Month.
What a treat
Thank
this
you.
morning. Thanks for being
Thank
with
you
us.
so much.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. Okay.
Dean, do we not have Commissioner Brown with us any longer?
She did drop off, Commissioner. I'm checking on her now.
Okay. Do we want to?
Yeah, I think she'll be okay with us keep moving here.
Yeah. Well, we have another presentation anyway.
Yep. It's also American Heart Month, and so it is my pleasure to welcome to our Franklin County our Franklin County Public Health Commissioner, Joe Mazzola. It's not like I don't hear from you almost every day in his capacity as the American Heart Association of Central Ohio board member. Now, February is American Heart Month, a time nationally where we spotlight heart disease, the #1 killer of Americans. Can you share what's happening in our community to highlight heart health, Joe? And welcome, I don't know what that's saying. Welcome, Joe. Welcome once again to the Franklin County Board of Commissioners meeting.
Thank you, President Boyce. Good to be with you. Good morning, Commissioner O'Grady. And good morning to Commissioner Brown, if she can join us again, and to Administrator Wilson and all of County Administration. Good to be with you this morning. Very, very excited. Really appreciate the commissioners taking a few minutes to talk about Heart Health Month this month. We're privileged to have Brenda Baird, the Executive Director of the American Heart Association of Central Ohio, with us here this morning. I want to introduce Brenda here in 1 second, but I do want to just want to thank the county for your continued commitment to health and wellness for our community. Franklin County Public Health and the American Heart Association are pleased to co-lead the Franklin County Hypertension Network, and Brenda will talk a little more about that. But really, the county's continued support of public health and wellness for its employees, our residents, et cetera, is really just unparalleled. And we want to just make sure that we highlight this particular disease this month, as you mentioned, Commissioner Boyce, it takes such a toll on our community and on our nation. So we're making good progress here in Franklin County. We have a lot of stakeholders around the table who are working diligently to reduce hypertension in our community. And I'm really excited about the progress that we're going to continue to make. And as you mentioned, I am a proud board member of the American Heart Association of Central Ohio. I'm wearing my pin here this morning, and certainly very, very pleased to introduce our Executive Director, Brenda Baird, to talk a little bit more about hypertension, heart disease, and what we're doing here in Franklin County and Central Ohio. So let me quickly turn the call over to Brenda. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Joe. It's great to see you. And thank you, Joe, for your service to the American Heart Association. And thank you, commissioners, for having me with you here this morning. Happy Black History Month and happy American Heart Month. I understand the commissioners have the resolution declaring February Heart Month. And why that's so important to us is because heart disease is the #1 cause of death here in the United States and worldwide. And 80% of cardiac deaths are preventable. And that's really through better lifestyle choices. And so it's been a tremendous privilege to be able to work with Joe Mazzola and be the lead agency working on the hypertension network, really focused on improving health outcomes, specifically around hypertension. And so each February, on that note, we wanted to make sure that you knew that that during this month, the women unite around Go Red for Women. And why this initiative is really important is because heart disease is the #1 health threat for all women. And Go Red was designed to increase women's heart health awareness and serve as a catalyst for change to improve the lives of women globally. Over the last 17 years, we've been very active here in Franklin County, focused on not only funding research, but advancing public health policy, championing closing gender gaps and addressing the social determinants of health while creating platforms for women to address their greatest health risk, which is cardiovascular diseases. Since the inception of Go Red, the AHA has decreased death rates from women by 300 per day, and we're super proud of that. However, heart disease still claims 1 in 3 women every single day. And so through our efforts with Go Red, we're working to ensure awareness and empowering women to take charge of their heart health. This includes providing interactive tools and resources for individuals to take charge of their heart health and track their heart health information. Things that we promote through the Hypertension Network include Life Simple 7, and those resources can be found at heart.org for your reference. And we're just super proud of the ongoing efforts that we've made to really, I'd say, forge a collaboration with over 30 stakeholders, really focused on the well-being of our community. And we're just honored to be the lead agency heading up hypertension. So thank you, Joe, and commissioners. I'm listening to Lynn. I'm going to know when to stop talking, but
No, we really appreciate both you, Joe, and Brenda. We really appreciate you being here today. Awareness is everything. And I tell you, all of the issues you mentioned, hypertension and other cardiovascular issues, the numbers are disparate in the African American community. And this kind of awareness leads to prevention, and prevention can save money and lives if we pay attention to some of the things that come out of Heart Awareness Month. And so thank you so much for your advocacy. Thank you for what you do. And let me just open up to my colleagues. I know we have a resident heart specialist here with us who knows everything that you ever need to know. He could probably be a surgeon at this point. And so I'll defer to my colleague with anything else to say.
I could not be a surgeon at this point, but I do know more than your average bear about cardiovascular issues and cardiovascular disease, that's for sure. Joe and Brenda, it's great to have you guys this morning, and thanks for helping us celebrate not only Black History Month, but American Heart Month as well. Yes, I have been, over the last 21 years, not only myself, but my wife and I both have learned more than your average human about cardiovascular issues. And I've having had 2 open heart surgeries and probably another 14 or 15 cardiovascular related procedures. Surgical related procedures. I've also had many other procedures as well. Spent more time we have wonderful facilities here, by the way, in Franklin County with the Ross Heart Hospital and the McConnell Heart Center. And so, and I've had, I guess the displeasure of also visiting many other fantastic heart facilities throughout not only Ohio, but the country. I've spent considerable amount of time at the Cleveland Clinic, as well as St. Thomas Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee, and the Arizona Heart Institute out in Phoenix. And so I've been down this road a few times, and but it's a great time to not only talk about, all things heart related, especially as it relates to not only women, but the African American community, to discuss issues, about social determinants of health and, just all the different things. And frankly, it's not just a great issue about awareness. It's a great issue about the awareness around what Franklin County does in this space. And so really happy that we're able to focus on and highlight this issue in the month of February, and happy that you guys are with us this morning to do that, and proud of the work that we've done in this area. So this has been a part of my life for the last 21 years, probably a central focus of my life for the last 21 years. So thanks for being here this morning to help us with this.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to just say that, I know with women's heart issues, there are different symptoms that women face, and they're not often advertised, the different symptoms that women can have. And, as we're looking at heart health, people face different symptoms that really affect them. And it's difficult sometimes in diagnosing women's health issues generally, and in both the African American and the general community, it's very difficult to have women go to the doctor and have heart health issues diagnosed because they don't even see them as symptoms. Can you talk a little bit about the symptoms that are different in women as to men when they ought to go to a doctor and check those symptoms out?
Yes, I can. Thank you for asking the question. And Commissioner O'Grady, I'm happy you're here and you're thriving and that the science was there and research. So I'm glad you're thriving. And Commissioner Brown, to address your question, I lost my mom to a massive heart attack right before my senior year in college. I graduated from Ohio State, and I've made this my lifelong career. So knowing those symptoms and how they're different and present differently in women is just really critical to get out to everyone. And some of the differences my own mother had and expressed right before her cardiac event. And so in women, they tend to experience more indigestion-like symptoms that don't seem to be present in men, and extreme fatigue. And so I think oftentimes that women are more likely to dismiss those symptoms of just being part of the routine or the day. And so I think that knowing how you feel and if something's not right, to trust that gut instinct and to follow up and ask about it. And so that goes for men and women. But other symptoms that are similar between men and women are jaw and neck or back pain, squeezing or pressure in the chest. Women don't always have that same squeezing that men do. And of course, shortness of breath is shared among both. But I think the main thing is that when you don't think something's right, be your own health advocate, keep asking questions, and I think empowering people to go to the American Heart Association website, to know their numbers, to ask questions of their doctors is really critical to take an active role in your own health.
Thank you.
Mention one other thing that I mentioned on here at these Board of Commissioners meetings on a regular basis, but I haven't mentioned for some time, which is, too often we have clientele in Franklin County that whether it's a cultural issue, whether it's a financial issue, but for whatever reason, sometimes it's just plain old stubbornness. There's nothing other than stubbornness that keeps folks from going to the doctor, making their appointments, taking their medicine. Sometimes it's a financial reason. Sometimes it's a cultural reason. There's all kinds of reasons why. The reason why I'm still here after 21 years is that I am very, very determined to be here. The reason why I'm still here after 21 years is I don't miss doctor's appointments. I don't miss checkups. I don't miss my appointments. I don't miss my medications. I'm very, very diligent about that stuff. If you ignore things, if you put things off, that's when you get in trouble. Your heart, your cardiovascular system, and your respiratory system work hand in hand. If you're having trouble breathing, if you're fatigued, if you're not, if it's hard for you to walk up a flight of stairs, there's probably a reason for it, especially if you weren't having that trouble last week. There are so many things that work together. And there are so many signs that don't, in retrospect, in a rear view mirror, they are common sense, but when it's happening to you, you don't think about it. The other thing I would tell folks that are listening or paying attention is, don't not talk about this stuff. Discuss it with your spouse, discuss it with your children. Don't internalize this stuff. Too often. I have a friend who, doesn't like to talk about these things, and he found himself having a stroke. And then after he had a stroke and he started to recover, the recovery was very slow because he wasn't talking to anybody about it. When he finally opened up and started talking to his daughter and his son about it, they then were able to help him through all this stuff. Now here he is a little over a year later, and I saw him the other day and he looks fantastic, but he's looked and acted, and his recovery has been slow, and he's looked terrible for a year. And I saw him the other day and he looks fantastic, but it's taken a year because he just wouldn't talk to folks and he wouldn't open up, and he wasn't doing what he needed to do because he was isolated and he wasn't paying attention and he wasn't doing the things necessary. Once he started opening up and talking to folks, he was able to get the help he needed. Now he's on his medications. Now he's in rehab. Now he's doing the things he needs to. He looks like $1 million, but it was because he was isolated and he was quiet and he wasn't talking and he was stubborn. Talk to people, take your meds, go to your appointments, do what you need to do. Sorry, I get on a soapbox about this stuff. Brenda, you don't know me, but everybody else on here knows that, I'm unlike Lynn. Sometimes I don't know when to shut up.
But it's an important testimony. I really feel like it's something that we all need to be thoughtful about. And even just what you said, tips about if you struggle walking upstairs or whatever, pay attention and go to the doctor. And I'll even tell you, I know in the African American community, going to the doctor is something that is, again, one of those disparate issues that for different reasons, but nonetheless, they persist. And so that's something that we just have to keep hammering home to everyone, and it's for their own good and for our community's own good. So thanks for that testimony. Brenda and Joe, thank you so much for being here today. And we'll have you back next February in the same capacity.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Commissioner Boyce, you're muted, sir.
Accidental mute there. Sorry. All right. At this time, I'd like to receive a motion for the minutes of February 9th, 2021 general session, the February 11th, 2021 briefing session, and the February 8th and 10th, 2021 administrative briefings. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Voting, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Great. First, we have the engineer.
Can we begin with the public hearing this morning, Commissioner?
Okay. All right, we have a public hearing today. Can the clerk please read the public hearing notice?
Thank you. Resolution regarding the vacation of Armuth Avenue, Carroll Road, and 2 public alleys, Mifflin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed, engineer to file report by February 23rd, 2021.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience on this virtual meeting today who would like to speak on the public hearing? I don't have any speaker slips, so seeing that there are none, I would like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Thank you. Resolution number 110-21, vacation of Armuth Avenue, Carroll Road, and 2 public alleys, Mifflin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, viewed, engineer to file report by February 23rd, 2021.
Good morning, commissioners, staff members, and constituents. My name is Cornell Robertson, honored to serve as the county engineer for everyone in Franklin County. Commissioners, this right-of-way vacation is in the northeast part of the county in Mifflin Township, southeast of Stelzer Road and Agler Road intersection, along Armuth Avenue, along Carroll Road, and 2 public alleys. This resolution is the second in a series of 3 to vacate the right-of-way, states it has been viewed, and directs the county engineer to develop a plat for your approval at the final hearing, which has been scheduled for February 23rd. Mifflin Township is in support of this right-of-way vacation, and we have not heard from anyone who may be against it. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval.
I'll move for approval of 110-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution number 110-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 111-21, resolution accepting the annual bridge inspection report for 2020.
This resolution, again, is for the 2020 annual bridge inspection report. As you know, the county engineer is responsible for construction, reconstruction, improvements, maintenance, and repair of all bridges under the jurisdiction of the Board of County Commissioners. Each of our 360 bridges have to be inspected every year per Ohio Revised Code. 352 of those bridges are rated either fair, satisfactory, good, very good, or excellent. None are rated worse than poor, and only 8 are rated poor, which are currently under design or planned for rehabilitation. Only 2 bridges are posted with weight reduction limits, but those postings are for large specialized emergency vehicles that are not being used in Franklin County. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of 111-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 111-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 112-21, resolution approving the 2020 annual county highway system mileage report.
Commissioners, as stated, this resolution is for the 2020 annual county highway mileage system report. Your certification of this report is required for the county engineer to receive a portion of the state motor vehicle registration fees to maintain our transportation infrastructure. From 2019 to 2020, the mileage dropped only 0.4 of a mile, from 260.1 miles to 259.7 miles. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval.
I'll move approval of 112-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 112-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 113-21, report third of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Morse Road at Babbitt Road Improvement Project, Plain Township and Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $17,715.
This capital improvement project is in the northeast part of the county on the line between Jefferson Township and Plain Township at the intersection of Morse Road and Babbitt Road, where we plan to build a single lane roundabout in 2022 utilizing ODOT safety funds and funds from Ohio Public Works Commission. This resolution is the third report for right-of-way acquisition, includes one property, and the appraisal is based on fair market value. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of 11321.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 113-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 114-21. Resolution authorizing a contract with Daleen M. Pride Consultant to provide expert consultant services to identify erroneous motor vehicle license registrations in the amount of $20,000.
Yes, this resolution is a professional services contract with Daleen Pride to check that motor vehicle registration fees are being properly allocated to the Franklin County Engineer's Office. This is our primary source of revenue to maintain our infrastructure for roads, bridges, and other modes of transportation. In 2019, Ms. Pride's audits identified $255,000 to be redirected to the county engineer, which is enough funding for us to replace 2 bridge culverts with our own crews. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval.
I'll move approval of 11421.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 114-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 115-21. Excuse me. Resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Shelley and Sands Incorporated for the Refugee Road 5.99 over Big Walnut Creek Improvement Project in the amount of $2,589,380.83.
This bridge rehabilitation project is in the southeast part of the county on the line between Madison Township and Truro Township along Refugee Road over Big Walnut Creek. It is a cooperative project with the City of Columbus and includes the extension of a shared use path along Refugee Road, closing a gap in a heavily traveled pedestrian route. This resolution is a construction contract award with Shelley and Sands. We had a competitive sealed bid opening on January 20th, received 4 bids, and Shelley and Sands had the lowest and best bid. As part of our anti-racism and equity program, we included an equitable business enterprise aspirational goal of 12%. Shelley and Sands plans to exceed that goal by using Twin Rivers Construction, Flat Rock Bridge Group, Weatherspoon and Williams, and BG Trucking and Construction as subcontractors. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
I'll move approval of 11521.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 115-21 has been adopted.
Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
Thank you too.
Thanks.
Office of Aging.
Resolution number 116-21. Resolution authorizing 6 grant agreements to provide community stabilization services for Franklin County Senior Options in the amount of $240,122.
Good morning, Commissioners. D'Amica Withers here from Office on Aging. The community stabilization is needed in distressed neighborhoods, especially those that are experiencing or are on the cusp of gentrification. Seniors in these neighborhoods are often at risk of losing their housing and their sense of belonging in the community. Projects funded under this category work by providing services and programming that help seniors stay in their homes, such as one-on-one assistance to seniors in crisis situations, especially housing-related ones such as eviction, linkage to home maintenance and repair resources, transportation to medical appointments, minor yard work, snow shoveling, as well as active opportunities to socialize and meet their neighbors. Ms. Victoria Harris joins us to speak to this resolution. Ms. Harris participates in the program we fund at Central Community House. She is a recipient of a Chromebook through our grants. Ms. Harris?
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to read mine off to keep from being too nervous, okay? The advantages, and this is what I wrote, the advantages of the Columbus Community House, CCH, in my life has been greatly enhanced since COVID-19. While all this has created a new normal, CCH has been a blessing to me and many others. First, the opportunity to receive a nice laptop and training have helped me to stay in touch in so many different ways with family and others. Previously, I spent time at the library reading some research, making copies, and using their computers and internet. However, with the library closing, all that changed. My Chromebook and hotspot have allowed me to connect with my children, family, and friends, and the world. I have been able to stay in touch with what is going on at CCH via their helpful staff and informative newsletter, as well as participating in some of the many activities, presentations, seminars, and webinars. In fact, I have even made new friends via their Monday senior chat. There is also one on Wednesday. It starts my week off with additional knowledge and a lot of laughs, something we all need at this time. CCH has a lot to offer. In the arts and crafts program, one of my favorites was the jewelry class, which also did some crocheting, knitting, and we even had painting lessons. And I do plan on joining the book club. As my life was quite active before COVID-19, it was challenging for me to be home all the time. Now, once again, I have more to occupy my time and my mind. My Chromebook has enabled me to get COVID as well as other pertinent information, plus go online with my church, attend my weekly international Bible study previously held in Grove City. And I've been attending funerals in Columbus and other cities, especially my cousins in Maryland. And I say yes, attending, because I felt very present. As a matter of fact, just a few too many funerals. I was also able to attend my brother-in-law's 70th birthday celebration with the rest of my family and see his mother of 104 years young, of whom I phoned from time to time. It was great to see her and everyone else. I cannot express enough this blessing of the community house and what it has been to me in a blessing. Initially, I hesitated to take the needed computer classes because safety was my primary concern. Once they reassured me they could and would do the classes safely, I agreed, and they did. I did take my Clorox wipes with me, but they had it all covered. When I mentioned I had no internet, I was fixed up with a hotspot and taught how to use it. Wow, fantastic. That made an older lady feel great. My children and family are just as excited for me that I could join them. As like many other seniors, I live alone. Now I don't feel so isolated and that the world is passing me by. Oh, and my Kroger card, that was another nice surprise. I used it to pay for my prescription and even had a little bit left over to get a Stouffer's entree. You can't beat that. Thank you so much for your time and listening to me. It has been more than just a benefit. It is a huge blessing that has come my and other seniors' way via the Columbus Community House. Thanks again for all your support, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Ms. Harris, for sharing your wonderful experience and the advantage that it has been for you to be able to stay connected to your friends and family. Pending any questions, commissioners, I request your approval of this resolution.
I just want to say thanks to Ms. Harris for joining us today and sharing that story. The public needs to hear that kind of story because all the challenge that we face in 2021, there are more of really good things that are happening, and we're seeing our strengths as a county and where we can help everyday folks like yourself navigate what has been a tough year for all of us. So thank you for sharing today.
I love that Senior Options in Franklin County is able to help our residents get what they really need, whether it's a computer and a hotspot or something more basic like food or shelter or transportation. This is a wonderful story, Miss Harris. This is a great story, and you tell it so well. And we thank you for being with us today. But D'Amica, it's wonderful that we're able to get people what they really need, and that's what's important at
Yes,
senior.
Commissioner.
It's flexible that we can get somebody what they really need.
Yes.
Ms. Victoria, thank you for being with us and for sharing today. And D'Amica, thank you for bringing Ms. Victoria to us. This has been the story of the pandemic from the eyes of Commissioner Brown. This is what Commissioner Brown has been talking to us about for 12 months. And you two women brought her reminders and her concerns to life for us today. This is fantastic. Really appreciate this. This is I'll tell you what, this meeting so far today has been a little bit hard to top. Everybody, this has been great stuff. Whoever's got to present after this, keep it up, keep it going. Great stuff. We really appreciate you guys today.
Commissioners, can I ask a really quick question? This is Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services.
Yeah, please.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Appreciate you asking permission.
So awesome, D'Amica and Ms. Harris. I love it. This is what the commissioners love to do in fixing problems. But I have a question for you, D'Amica. For seniors who see this story and other families who see this story in our county, how can they get connected to this program? And is there capacity for additional seniors to have access to this? And if not, can you and I have an offline conversation on what would need to happen and what that would entail?
Certainly, Deputy. Yes, seniors can contact Central Community House directly, or they can contact Franklin County Office on Aging at 525-6200 to be connected to these programs that we offer through our grant agencies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, if there are no further questions, I'll move approval of 11621.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 116-21 has been adopted. Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you.
Resolution number 117-21. Resolution authorizing 2 grant agreements to provide intergenerational services for Franklin County Senior Options in the amount of $125,044.
Commissioners, the intergenerational program projects are aimed at enriching the lives of seniors via interaction with the younger generation. Intergenerational programs also serve to better acquaint younger persons on issues related to aging. Activities range from using music and movement within an intergenerational daycare center to having high school children teach their senior buddies to use the computer and the internet. Pending any questions of this resolution, I request your approval.
If there are no questions, I'll move for approval 11721.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 117-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 118-21. Resolution authorizing 5 grant agreements to provide small group transportation services for Franklin County Senior Options in the amount of $321,083.
Commissioners, this last resolution of the Office on Aging, the small group transportation provision enables older adults to live an active and involved lifestyle without compromising their dignity, pride, and self-worth. While medical appointments take priority, trips for personal errands are accommodated whenever possible. Group outings provide valuable social interaction with peers and open a world outside the client's own home. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
there are no comments or questions, I'll move 11821.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 118-21 has been adopted.
Thank you. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 119-21, review of petition to annex 30.2 acres more or less from Hamilton Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-01-21.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jenny Snap, Assistant Director at Economic Development and Planning, and Commissioner O'Grady, I apologize. That was a very hard act to follow, so I'm going to apologize in advance. These are two annexations, so I'm not quite as exciting.
No, not at all. Not at all. We'll just let you slide right on by.
Okay. So this resolution is to consider an expedited type 2 annexation petition of 30.2 acres, more or less, from Hamilton Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes property located at 2 parcels. Those are adjacent to Rickenbacker Parkway West, which is west of Rickenbacker Parkway, west north of Voss Road, east of Canal Road, and south of London Groveport Road. Petition was filed by agent and attorney Jill Tangeman, attorney at law of Boris Law Firm, who is in attendance should you have any questions, on behalf of the owner DRCS 1566 LLC. 27.2% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the City of Columbus, and the city passed ordinance number 0124-2021 on January 25th, 2021, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved, and a statement regarding possible incompatible land uses and the zoning buffer. Petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval. And again, Jill Tangeman is present if you have any questions.
If there are no questions, I'll move for approval of 11921.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 119-21 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention. Resolution number 120-21, review a petition to annex 0.12 acres, more or less, from Mifflin Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-02-21.
Again, this resolution is to consider an expedited type 2 annexation petition of 1.2 acres from Mifflin Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes property located at 2458 Agler Road and 2872 North Glen Drive, which is east of North Glen Drive, north of Agler Road, west of Bridgeview Drive, and south of Mecca Road. Petition was filed by agent and attorney Jackson B. Reynolds III, attorney at law of Smith & Hale, LLC, who is in attendance should you have any questions, on behalf of Mark A. Galley, Robert J. Galley, and Miracit Development Corporation, Inc. 30% of the site's perimeter is contiguous with Columbus, and the city passed ordinance number 0123-2021 on January 25th, 2021, indicating the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved, and a statement regarding incompatible land uses and the zoning buffer. Petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of 12021.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 120-21 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 121-21. Resolution authorizing memorandums of understanding with Franklin County Public Health and Columbus Public Health for staffing and supportive services related to the Franklin County Rapid Resource Center through the fiscal year 2018 Targeted Capacity Expansion Grant Program in the amount of $10,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Pearson, Interim Director of the Franklin County Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Commissioners, I am so pleased to announce that we have officially launched the Rapid Resource Center, which is located in the north lobby of the Jackson Pike Correctional Facility. And while it was a soft launch, as we're only able to be open right now 5 days a week, we will be eventually scaling to size and open 6 days a week up to 15 hours a day. Individuals just released from incarceration now have an immediate place they can visit to receive treatment referral and linkage, obtain assistance with insurance benefit and food assistance applications, request a birth certificate and a voucher for a state ID, receive employment referrals, pick up some gloves, and even be linked with a community-based peer support specialist for longer-term engagement. Through approval of these two MOUs, one with Franklin County Public Health and the other with Public Health, we are one step closer to being open 6 days a week, up to 15 hours a day, as both health departments are committing community health workers to help staff the resource center. Additionally, the MOU with Columbus Public Health builds in grant funding not to exceed $10,000 to reimburse their agency for processing of birth certificates through the Center for Justice-Involved Individuals. Commissioners, the intent of the Rapid Resource Center and the collaborative efforts surrounding the initiative is a result of your support and commitment to addressing social determinants of health for all residents of Franklin County. So I want to take a moment to thank you for all of your support. Pending any questions, I request your authorization to enter into a memorandum of understanding with both Columbus Public Health and Franklin County Public Health.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of 12121.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 121-21 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was checking something on that. Apologize. Next, Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 122-21, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Calcruth Roofing and Sheet Metal Incorporated to perform roofing and siding activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation phase 2A in the amount of $2,150,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. Joining me today is COO Vivian Alexander. Resolutions for your consideration today are associated with the construction of the continuation phase of the new Franklin County Correction Center. The Correction Center construction project has an established small and emerging business enterprise SEBE aspirational goal of 12%. This project remains on track to exceed the aspirational goal with an SEBE commitment of 23.9%, approximately $52.6 million as of January 31st of this year. This first resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Calcruth Roofing and Sheet Metal Inc. to perform roofing and siding activities. 2 bids were received and Calcruth was the low bidder. Calcruth is located in Lewis Center, Ohio. Calcruth is signatory to the Roofers Local 86 and Sheet Metal Workers Local 24 in Columbus. 6 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Calcruth has committed to 12%, approximately $258,000 diversity participation from one firm on its SEBE utilization plan. Calcruth has demonstrated it has the capacity, experience, and ability to complete the required work. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this action.
If there are no comments, I'll move approval of 12221.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 122-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 123-21, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Mauser Masonry Incorporated to perform masonry activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation phase 2A in the amount of $5,555,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. This next resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Mauser Masonry Incorporated to perform masonry activities. 2 bids were received and Mauser was the low bidder. Mauser is an established local firm in Grove City. Mauser is signatory to the Bricklayers Local 55 and Laborers Local 423 in Columbus. 20 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Mauser has committed to 2.9%, approximately $163,000 for the diversity participation from one local hauling and trucking firm and one Ohio material supplier firm on its SEBE utilization plan. Mauser is self-performing the work and therefore participation on this contract is limited. Mauser has demonstrated it has the capacity, experience, and ability to complete the required work. The project owner's representative, Pizzuti Solutions, and the project construction manager, Gilbane Smoot, are supportive of this contract. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract agreement.
Commissioners, it looks like we've lost Commissioner Brown again. I know that her internet connection had been slightly unstable earlier.
All right, well, then let me move approval of resolution is it 123?
Yes.
Resolution 123-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 123-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 124-21, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Omni Fireproofing Company, LLC, to perform fireproofing activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center Continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $677,653.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Omni Fireproofing Company, LLC, to perform fireproofing activities. 2 bids were received and Omni Fireproofing was the low bidder. Omni is located in Fairfield, Ohio. Omni Fireproofing is signatory to OPCMIA Local 132 in Columbus. 4 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Omni has committed to 14.7%, approximately $100,000 diversity participation from one firm on its SEBE utilization plan. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract agreement with Omni Fireproofing LLC to perform fireproofing activities.
If there's no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 124-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 124-21 has been adopted. And it looks like the commissioner is rejoining us now. Resolution number 125-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with TMOC Construction Incorporated to perform general trades activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center Continuation Phase 2A in the amount of $5,070,000.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with TMOC Construction Incorporated, a local firm, to perform general trades activities associated with construction of the continuation phase of the new correction center. 2 bids were received and TMOC was the low bidder. TMOC is signatory to Carpenters Local 200 and Laborers Local 423, Elevator Contractors, Constructors Local 37, Iron Workers Local 172, and Insulators Local 50 in Columbus. 12 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. TMOC is a certified LEDE, local economically disadvantaged enterprise firm, so there is 100% diversity participation, approximately $5 million. Additionally, TMOC has committed to subcontract 12%, $608,000 to a local edge material supplier. Pending any questions, this agency recommends the award of the contract to perform trades activities.
Did we just lose her again?
We did, Commissioner.
Oh, man.
All right. If there are no questions, I'll move approval of resolution 125-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 125-21 has been adopted. And commissioners, can you give me just one moment, please?
Yes.
I apologize. I want to make sure that she has the information she needs. Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution number 126-21, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a contract agreement with Warner Metal Works Incorporated to perform miscellaneous steel activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation phase 2A in the amount of $2,315,275.
This resolution authorizes a contract agreement with Warner Metal Works, Inc. to perform miscellaneous steel activities associated with construction of the continuation phase of the new correction center. One bid was received and Warner is located in Delaware, Ohio. Warner is signatory to Ironworkers Local 172. 10 jobs are anticipated to be created as part of this contract at peak. Warner is a certified VBE, Veteran Business Enterprise firm, so there is also 100% diversity participation, approximately $2.3 million associated with this contract. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this action.
If there's no questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 126-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 126-21 has been adopted. And again, Commissioners, one more moment. It looks like Commissioner Brown was able to join us by phone. Just want to reconfirm. Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioner Brown, if you can hear me, it's *6 to unmute your line. Resolution number 127-21. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a modification of the contract agreement with Cornerstone Detention Products Incorporated to perform additional detention equipment activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center continuation phase 2A in the amount of the contract not to exceed $7,319,000, and authorizing the county administrator to approve and execute additional minor modifications to the contract agreement.
In December 2018, Cornerstone Detention Products Incorporated was awarded a contract agreement to perform detention equipment activities associated with the construction of the new Franklin County Correction Center. This resolution authorizes the first modification of the contract agreement with Cornerstone to provide additional detention equipment activities associated with the construction of the continuation phase of the new correction center. This contract includes work such as security detention doors, frames and hardware, access doors, bifolding detention doors, detention toilet accessories, fixed beam seating, detention furniture, institutional furniture, prefabricated metal wall panels, etc., required for a complete system and related accessories for the continuation phase. As part of this contract modification, Cornerstone has committed to 12.56%, approximately $919,000 from one MBE Edge Ohio firm on its SCBE utilization plan. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract modification.
Mr. Brown? Okay. Well, if there aren't any questions, then I'll move approval of Resolution 127-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 127-21 has been adopted. And Commissioners, before we move forward, we need to make sure we can hear Commissioner Brown, because this next resolution, I want to make sure that we have all three commissioners on the line for.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Stay safe.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Brown, can you hear me?
She might be muted. She's not on there.
Commissioner, if you can't hear me, it's *6 to unmute.
Do we want to come back to the purchasing resolution and give her some time to work out her?
Commissioner Boyce.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Let's skip purchasing and give her some time to come back and go on to Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution number 129-21. Resolution reappointing the Franklin County Apiary Inspector for 2021.
Hello.
Hello, Commissioner.
All right.
Are you still there?
I am.
Okay.
We should take purchasing while we got her here in case
Yeah.
something happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go back to purchasing, Dean.
Thank you, Commissioners. Resolution number 128-21, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $11,798,849.42.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. This resolution requests your approval of 139 purchase orders for which the County Auditor has pre-certified available funding. This week, 14 out of 24 eligible POs totaling $3,337,885 are being presented for award to 4 women business enterprises, 4 minority business enterprises, 2 small and emerging business enterprises, 1 local economically disadvantaged business enterprise, 1 veteran business enterprise, and 2 disadvantaged business enterprises. This represents 58% of the eligible PO volume and 98% of the eligible PO dollar value. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no further questions or comments, I'll move for approval of 128-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 128-21 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 129-21, resolution appointing the Franklin County Apiary Inspector for 2021 in the amount of $12,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Tularic with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would appoint Nina Bagley as the Apiary Inspector pursuant to Section 909.07 of the Revised Code. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments, I'll move approval of 129-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 129-21 has been adopted.
Hey, I got a quick question on that. And it's, I don't know if Zach or probably either of my colleagues can answer this question. So is it state law that requires us to have an apiary contract? Is that kind of, so every county has to have an apiary?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It
I'm just
is.
curious.
It's regarding the colony, the colony collapse disorder from years back, and just making sure that we have bees to pollinate. It's kind of cool.
It's in the Ohio Revised Code.
Okay.
It's one of our duties to do. Yeah.
Commissioner, it's kind of cool. I'm sure that once the weather changes, that Darla Reardon be happy, or somebody from her staff be happy to take you out and show you some of the. We went out. I went with she and back when Jim Goodnow was still with us, out to Herndon Road to the pollinator field, pollinator garden way out in the Groveport area, and went with the previous apiary instructor or apiary guy that we had, and just saw some of the stuff that they do. It was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm curious there. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Don't go during tick season, because Darla thought she got a tick that day and she freaked out. So maybe somebody other than Darla should go, because it was
Okay.
All
right, we'll keep it moving. Next on the Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 130-21, resolution appointing and reappointing members to the Franklin County Criminal Justice Planning Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Commissioners, this is our annual resolution making appointments to the Criminal Justice Planning Board. Its companion resolution for the Community Corrections Planning Board will be brought forward to you next week. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of these appointments.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of 130-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 130-21 has been adopted. Resolution number 131-21, resolution reappointing various members of the Franklin County Children's Services Board.
Commissioners, Eric Janis again. This resolution would make 6 reappointments to the Children's Services Board. All the board members are in good standing and wish to continue to serve. Any questions, would recommend approval.
If there are no questions, I'll move approval of 131-21.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 131-21 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, go ahead, Commissioner.
Are there any journalizations?
We have one, Commissioner. Case number ANX-03-21, an expedited type 2 annexation petition. ANX-03-21 was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on February 9th, 2021. The petition is requesting to annex 0.5 acres more or less from Mifflin Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on March 16th, 2021. Site 2626 Johnstown Road, PID number 190-004790.
That concludes our general session meeting.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, we actually have one more resolution to read into the record.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Unless you wanted to ask for questions before I read this, Commissioner.
No.
Okay.
No.
Resolution number 132-21, resolution of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to convene into executive session to confer with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office concerning pending or imminent litigation.
I'll move to convene into executive session to confer with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject of pending or imminent court action.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 132-21 has been adopted. We are now in executive session. And for those of you participating in executive session, please stay on the line and you'll be moved over to a room to conduct executive session. For members of the public, you're more than welcome to stay on or drop off as you see fit. But I will start moving individuals into executive session now.